Now, have you heard the term fast fashion? It's a trend that's worrying many because hundreds of millions of clothing items are being sent to UK landfills each year, and they're saying it's simply not sustainable. While some high street shops may be in trouble, online clothing companies like Boohoo are booming. Trading figures out yesterday showing sales at Boohoo grew by 40% in the past year. However, companies like Boohoo have come under criticism for producing this so-called fast fashion, but isn't this just a reflection of modern life? Everything about speed and the need to have something as soon as possible, if not now. Well, Hannah Carter is from the campaign Love Not Landfill.
Yes, it is, but it's not something that's always been this way. We didn't all wake up and decide we wanted to buy clothes almost every day. So I think it's something that is learned behaviour, and particularly in young people, it's something that we can probably start to unlearn. And what we're realizing now is that the impact of so-called fast fashion on the environment is very real. There was the Stacey Dooley documentary, which was Fashion's Dirty Secrets, which was out last year, which really brought that to the fore, and that, you know, made people start to realize that we need to think about waste clothing and waste textiles as problematic as plastic has been. So I think that's something that is becoming a realization, and so people are now going to start to think about clothes and think about the very easy steps they can take to have quite a big impact and to reverse the process.
Interesting. You say that we can unlearn. You really feel you can turn back the clock where people are prepared to pay more for their clothes, to save for an item of clothing, to wear it 10, 12, 15 times?
Yeah, absolutely. And there are campaigns that are pushing that. But what we're saying, I mean, I'm an example of it. I used to buy a lot. I used to buy way too many clothes, way more than I needed. But now I've changed that completely, and I just look at secondhand or Depop or eBay, or I do save up for really quality brands, sustainable brands that I buy now and again. But I think for the average person, you don't have to save up. Second-hand clothes are better quality most of the time than the clothes you buy on the high street. So for the same price, you can buy a decent quality item that is quite unique, and you can style in a different way and it's more interesting and reflects your character. And I think there's the opportunity to be really creative with second-hand clothes, and that's something that I think is quite appealing to young people, especially those who are considering themselves environmentalists and are starting to think about the impact of clothes on the planet.
So what happens if you're a shopper who says, well, you know, I enjoy that fast fashion, and when I finish with it, I recycle it or I charity shop it, so I'm doing my bit?
That's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. And there's no problem with that at all. And we are very happy that if people, the problem we have is we know that a lot of people aren't doing that. This is the issue. And so there's 300,000 tons of clothing goes to landfill in the UK every year, and that's people putting it in the bin. So if somebody does enjoy fast fashion, if they do dispose of it responsibly, a charity shop or into a clothes bank, that's absolutely fine. I mean, reduce the impact even further by not buying it, but yeah, that's good.
I think most people think you probably have more joy in trying to get that message across than actually say, you know, leave fast fashion behind and save for your clothes and not buy something every time you go into town. You've got more chance of persuading somebody to recycle it.
Yeah, absolutely. And our campaign is two messages. So the first thing we did was put clothes banks onto the streets of London in places where young people were going regularly, so that they see them in their normal daily life and they put the clothes in there that they don't want anymore. Our second event was a pop-up shop where we partnered charities with influencers, and they pulled together the most beautiful collections of secondhand clothes from the nicest charity shops in London, and we had them all in one space. And that's where people also got to see that secondhand clothes can be really amazing. And so that was the other thing we were trying to push forward. So I agree with you. Nobody's going to just step away from the high street and into charity shops entirely. That's too big a commitment in one go. But if we can just start to sow the seeds, then that would be a great thing.
Hannah Carter from the campaign Love Not Landfill. It's aiming to change the behaviour of young people when it comes to how they buy, care and dispose of their clothing.